Page 233, the buffalo skull. He had first spotted the point of the left horn glimmering dully in the sun as he rummaged through the brush looking for wood. Without thinking, he went down for closer inspection. He began to scrape the mud around it with the stiffened rims of his hands. His motions were awkward and frantic. As the horns revealed themselves, he wondered where the skull had come from, if it had been nailed to somebody's door, fallen off, and moved downriver, or had been lying here all this time, hundreds or even thousands of years. Having lost track of time, afraid that the others might come looking for him, he covered the skull with brush and then immersed his arms in the slowly floating water and rubbed them clean. Lastly, he removed his sandals and waded up to his knees and cleaned them. He flicked his hands, stepped into his sandals, and hurried back. Now, for the second time, he sits forward on his knees in the soothing river mud, exhuming the past. Using a long stick, he pries it up, and the sudden release makes a sticky, gushing groan. Repeatedly, he dips the skull into the water, and then, as compacted hunks of sediment fall away and the murky water pulls down smaller granules of soot and humus, the skull, completely intact, stares back at him, perched on his fingertips. The sun, jabbing down in ice-pick slithers, models the skull and penetrates the breezy undercurrents there beneath the long arms of the willows and sycamores, like the bold pivot of a marching phalanx. The boy, weeping sponge for a misdate with destiny, a Renaissance man born 20 years too late, alone to the gathering flood's warning spray, weeping for the dead, for the wounded and forgotten, for the calluses upon calluses layered upon the imaginations of men, anachronism of flesh and blood, bleeding from the daily carnage inflicted on his person. Emmanuel. So, is this the end? The heart of a nation reduced to rolling fossils after the slash and burn of freedom's march? Were we, 400 years ago, predetermined to be standing on these banks after the song and dance, the infertile eggs of senseless crossbreeding? It appears so. The world waits while we wait for nothing and no one. All that is mankind we embody manically. All his essentials are our commandments. The guilt I do have, Dones, isn't the guilt of our Catholic upbringing. It's from the horrific visions I see in my head. The people not yet born, women, children, men, who will receive our wasted planet, staring blankly and wonderingly at their fathers. The life of a man surely must be lived without the weight of either forefather or progeny pinching down on him. Yet, how can so many of us do so little for loved ones we don't yet know? Is it our collective bigotry? Is it the racism? Is it too old rituals slathered on too thin daily bread? Information overload? What's to become of this planet when those who see the heat turning up turn away from the flashpoints and take up arms instead for propaganda machines, imposters of the worst order, to protect, fearfully, mummified lives not worth living? What's next when lies are manufactured in assembly lines and executioners grin at you as though you were today's booby prize? I feel so impotent. What can I do that hasn't already been tried before? What good are my tears when no one around here seems to care? Why forfeit days with my own child, trying to help children unborn who I don't know? I must believe there's something out there, some kind of hope, else I would have ended it already. Could it be that hope itself stands as a footer for sound logic, a logic that might lead us out of not just this immediate labyrinth, but from our infancy as civilizations and on towards new and lasting peace and prosperity? My eyes tell me no. My ears hear laughter, and my mind can barely muster a smug scowl. But I do know this. I, the father of a child I love greater than all things on earth, can't turn away from my post. Her life yet lived will be the springtime blossoms of my life's diligence and duty. And her child, no less than mine, will be her bursting bud of nurturing love, so that this human chain, though we might lose the sweetness of taste from here to there, nevertheless links generation to generation. I want to know what to do. I'll do anything as an ant on the march if it would push back the tide mounting for a charge against this blessed planet. We've been good at conquering. Can we be equally adept at learning from it?